Hey guys, Melissa here. In this video I want to show you how I make 3 different types of components to use in your jewelry designs. First I'm going to show you how to make a coiled bead link with twisted wire. Next I'll show you how I make a triple love knot like that. Like that with the little spacer beads. And I'll show you how to make some horseshoe links, also with some twisted wire. And I use that same technique on my clasp, on my hook and my link on this side here. So if you'd like to learn how to make these, just keep watching. Okay, first I'm going to make a twisted coil bead. So I already twisted 24 gauge round copper wire together. I'm at like 17 inches, so I twisted about 36 inches together and got 17 inches total. I'm going to use 20 gauge. Just grab a spot, hold on tight, and start twisting it around. I've tried using the drill for this and it just messes it up, so I'm going to go ahead and do this part by hand. Make sure to coil nice and evenly and right next to each other. Snip the end off. Make sure both ends are nice and neat. And I'll leave a few inches on that end and about the same amount on this end. Just like that. Okay, so next I'm going to make this into a little coil bead. And for that I'm going to use 18 gauge for my core wire, which I'm going to make a link out of. So on one end I'm going to make a loop. And for now I'm just going to work off the spool because I'm not sure how much I'll need. And one end I'm going to go around about 3 times. Make sure all these are nice and snug. I'm not going to snip it quite yet, just because. Now I just want to start coiling my coils, so to speak. You can snug them up against the base wire, or you can flare them out a little bit. Mine are flared just a tad. So I'm gonna finish off this one side with go around about 3 times, but then I can go back and adjust. I can squeeze them together, I can pull them apart and fiddle with how far they come out and stuff like that. can even twist it more, make it tighter. That looks pretty good there, so I'm going to finish it off by making my end loop, or my loop on my other side. Make this loop a tad bit smaller. There's a coiled bead with a twist. Instead of using just a basic coil to wrap around, I use twisted wire. So you can use that as an interesting bead component in any project you would like. Next, I want to make some love knot beads, and for that I think I'm going to use some 18 gauge wire. Of course, you can use whatever wire you would like depending on how big you want your beads. I want mine to be pretty substantial, so I'm going to use my 18 gauge wire and a dowel that's 5/16 of an inch in diameter, and I'm going to coil my wire around the dowel. How many times around depends on how many beads you want to make. I think I want my beads to have 4 to 5 coils each, so, and then just multiply that by how many beads you want. I think that's good for now. I'm going to snip off coils that have about 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 apart. And I like to cut it on the same side as the other cut right there. So you end up with 2 coils just like that. Next, you want to feed them into each other. Just like that. Doesn't look like much now, it just looks like 2 coils linked together. Incorporate the third. So now you have 3. Okay, so now everything's entwined. Now you need to hide your ends. Turn that guy in there. Hide that guy. Turn that guy in that way. There's your little knot, and then now we just have to turn that into a bead. I'm going to use 18 gauge again, make a loop, kind of guesstimate how much you'll need. Snip it off. Feed it through the center. That's the tricky part, trying to find the center of the bead. Is it right here? To jazz up this bead, you can add spacer beads or like a different type of bead. Let me see what I got. Hold on. Okay, so let me take this off. I have these antique spacer beads here. Let me just see how this does. So that's an idea too. And once this is antique, they'll match a little bit better. Finish with making a loop. And lastly, I want to show you how I make this little horseshoe link, which makes an interesting little component to any of your projects. So again, I'm going to take some twisted wire. This is 22 gauge wire twisted together. I'm going to twist this around 18 gauge copper. My twisted wire is about 12 inches. So if you make multiple links, you want to make them equal. So we'll go ahead and twist this around the 18 gauge by hand. So yeah, just twist this around your core wire nice and even. Try to grip it with my nylon jaws just to help me out here. I'm going to go ahead and snip this last part off. Leave some room on the end to make some loops. I'm going to snip this side off. Clean up these ends, smash them down. Alright, so I got my twisted wire on my 18 gauge. I'm going to go ahead and snip my 18 gauge, but the same amount on each side. This is going to be a bigger link, but you can, adjust your wire lengths as needed for your project. So I'm going to bend this nicely around a mandrel. Bring them together like this and bend my wires out to parallel. And next I just want to make a couple loops, just like a horseshoe link. So I think I'll cut them about there evenly. If I want to do them at the same time, I can use my bail making pliers. Grab them with my bail making pliers. It's a little big. Go to the smaller size. And you can shape them and adjust them as needed. Even bend these up a bit if you want. Add some jump rings. You can even add them to the same jump ring. Let's see how that looks. Put this jump ring over here. These don't really match because I made this at a different time than I made this one. But if you go ahead and make them at the same time and with the same amount of wire, they should be matching. So that's kind of cute. I can open this jump ring and add my knot component And then on this side, I can add this bead component. But what I want to do before I finish up this video is I want to oxidize these. So let me go do that and I'll be back. All right, guys, so here's the finished product. I know I didn't show you how I made these exactly, but I made them the exact same way I made the links. I just made this one a swan clasp and a horseshoe link with the twisted wire. But here's the twisted bead link, the little horseshoe links, which you can do whatever you want with. You can link them like this, or you can link them onto each other. And the triple love knots, which look pretty cool when they're all oxidized and stuff and polished up. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments. All right, so that's it for me. I sure hope you liked this video. Hit the like button if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.